Hello movie fans, this is Moon Movie Review. I'm Travis Moon. Today's review is Bumblebee, starring Hailee Steinfeld, Jorge Lendeborg Jr., John Cena, and was directed by Travis Knight. As usual, we'll start with a short non-spoiler review, followed by my thoughts on whether or not this is a must-see or a wait for DVD. I'll give you a spoiler warning before we move into a more in-depth review where I talk about my likes, my dislikes. I'll give you my 4-point rating system, which I like to call the breakdown. Then I'll let you take it from there. Okay, movie watchers, cue intro. Bumblebee is the newest take on the old Transformers series. This film is a prequel to the 2007 Transformers starring Shia Lebouf and Megan Fox. This film gives us the how and why Bumblebee first comes to Earth. He is sent to Earth by Optimus Prime after the fall of Cybertron to protect the citizens of Earth from the Decepticons.
Bumblebee, there is only one way to end this war. You must protect Earth and its people.
However, when Bumblebee gets to Earth, he's met with quite a bit of trouble.
Where's Optimus Prime?
He barely survives and is then forced to shut down. He is then found in an old junkyard as an old Volkswagen Beetle.
I want the Beetle. I'll work here every day for a year.
It's yours, kid.
Now, as Charlie and Bumblebee go on this journey, Charlie helps Bumblebee find himself, and Bumblebee equally helps Charlie find herself. At this moment in their lives, they both needed each other, and they both find friendship in one another.
Thank you.
A pair of Decepticons trick the US government into letting them use their technology to locate Bumblebee. An all-out brawl takes place as Decepticons try to take over the Earth and wipe out us simple humans altogether.
The whole planet is sinless.
But Bumblebee remembers his mission and refuses to give up. Charlie and Bumblebee team up and together keep the world safe.
And I'm not going anywhere. This is how we stop them.
This film isn't great. It's okay. It's better than some of the more recent Transformers that have been released, so there's that, I guess, but I think that you can wait to see this one on DVD. If you enjoy watching movies and TV, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with cinema. Stay tuned to the end of this video so that you can see what reviews I've got coming out next. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Moon Movie Review. So for me, the movie started off interestingly enough with some action and some background of Bumblebee and Cybertron, and then we move into the character development of Charlie and who she is, and this is where some problems in the writing start to reveal themselves. They're trying to characterize Charlie as this Supergirl genius mechanical prodigy, and this is the backstory on how and why she ends up with the Volkswagen Beetle that is Bumblebee. I have a decent mechanical background myself, so as someone who knows what they're talking about, it drives me crazy when they try to set up these moments in film to pass someone off as a car junkie. They are constantly getting these moments wrong in film, and someone on set has to know what they're talking about and needs to tell these writers and directors that this stuff doesn't make sense. Firstly, she picks up a standard wrench, but the audio sounds like a ratchet wrench, which doesn't make sense. Wrenches don't sound like ratchet wrenches. Secondly, she rolls out from behind this sweet 1958 Corvette, crying, "I can't do this, I can't do this without you." Now, all she has in her hand is a standard wrench. Now, if a standard wrench is all you need to fix the problem, then your problem is not big enough to be crying saying, "I can't do this." This is a simple tool to fix simple problems. Thirdly, she sets aside this sweet 1958 Corvette to start working on the 1960s Volkswagen Beetle? She clearly doesn't know what she's doing. And lastly, they set up this bogus scene in the junkyard where this guy's working on this truck and he asks Charlie to hand him a tool, and Charlie's like, "You don't need this tool, you need this tool. I'm Supergirl genius." Totally staged, totally fake, and totally irritating. Why Hollywood cannot get this crap right. I'm gonna break this last one down and I'm gonna go quickly. So number one, if he was a mechanic, he would be able to look at the nut on the carburetor and know exactly what size he needed. He would not ask for the wrong tool. Number two, if he was a mechanic, he would have experience pulling carburetors and he would know what tools he needed, and he would have those tools in front of him so that he could access those tools quickly and would not need to ask somebody else for a tool. Three, after he asks her for the tool, Charlie presumes to know what he's working on and what tool he needs. If this is true, that discredits him as a mechanic and thereby discredits her as being a genius, as she knows more than someone who essentially doesn't know anything because he isn't really a mechanic. So in this movie and in film in general, I think they need to do a better job with these scenes. I also wanted to talk about the serious lack of coherent writing in this story. Coherent writing is the writer's job to tell a coherent story, to make things make sense, and she failed. Writing is my favorite part of film and it's my favorite part of storytelling, and this film has bad writing. Bumblebee is overhumanized in this story. He's basically a 12.5-foot tall 2-year-old, and he's emotionally responsive to everything. He has more emotions than most humans that I know, which is extremely annoying because as a machine, he's just made of mechanically moving parts. There's a limit to the amount of emotion that a robot can express. His memory cores are damaged in the beginning of the film, and after he gets his ass kicked for the 4th time, he manages to restore his memory cores completely just out of sheer willpower. But then he gets his ass kicked for the 5th time and it doesn't really seem to matter anyway. But that allowed him to distract the bad guy Decepticon long enough for Charlie to be the courageous superhero that she always has been to step in and save the day. Memo is either a stalker or just isn't taking his bipolar medication. He's supposed to be a geeky, submissive, fearful guy that just likes the girl next door. Yet somehow he is always walking up to Charlie, introducing himself, trying to ask her out, even after being avoided and shut down multiple times. So he's either very courageous, which means he's confident, which means he's not a geeky, submissive, fearful guy, or he's a stalker and he needs help. I think they did a terrible job at the character development of Memo. Lastly, I can't figure out why Charlie and Bumblebee have to split up at the end. I feel like there's 1 or 2 more movies that they could do with this story, but I'm not going to argue as I didn't like this one all that much. I will say this, there is one thing that I really liked about this film. Hailee Steinfeld's acting is wonderful. I truly believe that she is going to be one of the best actors in Hollywood one day. I'm excited to see where her career is going to go after this film. Okay, movie fans, here's the breakdown. I'm giving the writing a 4 out of 10 as I don't think there is anything coherent about this story. I'm giving the acting an 8 out of 10 as Hailee Steinfeld does great. Memo does pretty good, but everyone else is just kind of mediocre. I'm giving the cinematography an 8 out of 10 as they did a pretty decent job with the scenes, the animation, and the special effects. I'm giving the directing a 6 out of 10 as I think Travis Knight did a pretty bad job at letting these inconsistencies remain throughout the final product that is this film. So overall, Bumblebee is getting a 6 out of 10 from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope this helps you with your film watching endeavors. Please let me know any thoughts you have in the comment section down below, as I'd love to open up a discussion as I love talking about cinema. My next review will be Netflix's Bird Box, so check back soon for that and I'll see you on the next one. This film is the prequel to the 2007 Transformers starring Shia. Who is Shia? I've never met this person in my entire life. I will... Whoa!